Geno Auriemma calls them out, calls the team immature, and then there was some criticism of Paige Bueckers, actually.
Geno Auriemma is upset that UConn's and Paige Bueckers' outstanding performances go unappreciated. The team's games are failing to garner attention despite Bueckers' extraordinary talent and UConn's illustrious past. Is she truly the next Caitlin Clark, as everyone claims? And why are fans ignoring this explosive basketball force? Is she?
Now, I'm talking really, really small numbers. I'm talking 135 people in attendance. Yeah, you heard me right. 135 people in attendance to watch the number 11 team in the country face Utah State during the Daytona Beach Classic. What?
As we already know, Geno Auriemma, the renowned head coach of the women's basketball team at UConn, has consistently led his teams to unmatched success and been at the forefront of the sport.
A corner crash box out, so I'm very picky with what I'm doing right now because I'm showing the younger guys what we're supposed to do here, and so I'm just trying to lead and be an example in that way.
However, even though his current roster, which includes superstar Paige Bueckers, is undeniably talented, just 500 people attended the Huskies' recent game. This harsh reality has spurred a more extensive discussion about Bueckers' impact both on and off the court in comparison to Caitlin Clark of Iowa, who has dominated the women's basketball world by storm.
But yesterday, in a game in the Bahamas, UConn played for 567 people. USC have had games at home in Los Angeles, in LA. They have had games with 3,000 of their 10,000-seater stadium. I've said this before. Caitlin Clark can go literally anywhere and she would fill it up. Like, if Caitlin Clark played a game in Ireland, let's say she went to the big arena in Belfast.
Bueckers is without a doubt one of the best players in the game, but her influence hasn't translated to the same extent as Clark's in terms of popularity or ticket sales. Clark is now well known. Everywhere she performs, she draws enormous audiences and regularly delivers performances that go viral online.
I want y'all to tell me, what do y'all not like about Caitlin Clark? Is it the media coverage? Do you not like that she complains after foul call?
She has become more than just a basketball star thanks to her intense passion, deep three-pointers, and court presence, but a phenomenon of culture. Bueckers, however, has not had the same allure despite her remarkable talent. Bueckers' skills aren't always reflected in this discrepancy. She is an amazing athlete who has skillfully and gracefully led UConn.
If you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP at the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid.
But the disparity in their star power draws attention to the subtleties of basketball marketing and fan involvement. Flash and flair are hallmarks of Clark's persona. She produces amazing moments and performs well under pressure that astound admirers. Bueckers, on the other hand, plays with a more muted efficiency that does not yield the same. Despite her talent, she created viral buzz.
I want y'all to tell me, what do y'all not like about Caitlin Clark? Is it the media coverage? Do you not like that she complains after foul calls like everybody else? What exactly is the reason why I see so much hate on social media and from WNBA players? All she's doing is bringing more attention to the game, and she's very skilled. Like, whenever I watch Iowa games, her teammates always got an open shot. Please explain to me, why do y'all...
Geno Auriemma must find it difficult to accept the empty seats in the stands. The legendary program at UConn has been, for 10 years, it has been synonymous with excellence. However, it seems disconnected to watch the current team struggle to attract crowds. Between their impact off the court and their skill on the court, Auriemma has publicly voiced his annoyance, highlighting the need for the basketball community and fans to support his players, especially someone with such talent, like Bueckers. Therefore, the question still stands, why hasn't Bueckers' star shone as brightly in the public eye as Clark's?
Caitlin Clark, that would sell out in 10 minutes in Ireland. If Caitlin Clark played in the O2 Arena in England, 20,000, people from all over Europe will go to that and sell it out. Juju Watkins plays in Paris. The place is empty. She plays at home, there's 3,000. You go to Paige Bueckers goes to the Bahamas, 500 people. And repeat, 500.
Auriemma and UConn are under more pressure to find ways to highlight their team and rekindle their passion because of this dynamic. The enthusiasm that used to surround their program. These days, it's more than just wins and losses, it's about crafting moments that connect with supporters and serve as a reminder of why UConn basketball has always been unique. As the season goes on, everyone will be watching to see how Bueckers and UConn react. Will they emerge to take back the limelight? Or will players like Caitlin Clark continue to be favored in the narrative? Geno Auriemma is certain of one thing: will not give up on making sure his team receives the credit it merits. However, in the changing environment of women's basketball, that battle might be more difficult than before.
I'd like for her to get more creative with the ball, you know? I think there's times when, we started the game with her making a great play, you know, on that bounce pass to Ice. And she's either all into throwing that a pass or all into I'm scoring no matter what. And there's got to be a little bit of a...
However, some are wondering if the comparisons to Clark are justified as Paige Bueckers of UConn takes the court this season, particularly when the attendance data presents a completely different picture, which we are certain of. That more than any other effect, the Clark effect creates the vibes. Caitlin Clark, meanwhile, was nothing short of an occurrence while she was a student at Iowa last year. Every game was a spectacle, attracting sold-out audiences and breaking records of attendance. Ordinary games became must-watch spectacles when Clark was on the court. Hours before tip-off, fans would cram arenas in order to see her electrifying performances. Her games were an experience because of her bold passes, deep three-pointers, and unwavering confidence. Basketball fans were unable to miss it. Conversely, Bueckers uses a more subdued, more systematic approach. Her basketball IQ, passing accuracy, and court vision are outstanding, but her style lacks spectacle. That turned Clark into a machine that produced headlines. Consequently, Bueckers has failed to convey the wider casual fans' imaginations in a similar manner. Although ardent basketball fans value her skill, packed arenas and record-breaking viewership are not the results of the excitement surrounding her games.
But now you ain't saying, she's playing really well. That ain't what you were saying then. Y'all know who I'm talking to. I ain't gonna call your name, but you know who you were. Caitlin Clark is the real deal. She can actually play at an elite level. Unanimous Rookie of the Year.
This disparity in focus also draws attention to a more general issue in women's sports: the significance of personality and narrative. Clark was a relatable and captivating figure due to her charisma and fiery personality. More than just an athlete, someone that supporters could support. Despite their extraordinary talent, Bueckers have not yet established a public persona that strikes a similar chord. The decline in attendance is alarming for UConn and their legendary program. UConn has been a formidable force, and Geno Auriemma and the team will need to figure out how to rekindle the fanbase. For many years, and in the meantime, Bueckers must overcome Clark's shadow and demonstrate that she is a star in her own right, not the next Caitlin Clark.
You know how many people watched the Iowa-Connecticut game? Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers? 14 million people. Man, that's young Sheldon numbers.
The comparisons will surely continue throughout the season, but Bueckers has the chance to make her own decisions. It remains to be seen if she can infuse UConn with the same enthusiasm and vigor. However, it's evident that Caitlin Clark set an unachievable standard. Speaking of raising the standard, you can concur with me that it's never simple to become a great basketball player, and for Paige Bueckers, questions are already being raised about the path to the WNBA. Making the move from college to the WNBA requires more than just ability, strength, resilience, and the capacity to manage the physical demands of playing against the world's top athletes. For someone like Bueckers, whose skill and court vision are the foundation of his game, and basketball IQ, the question remains: is she prepared? However, Bueckers has had to deal with these issues earlier. She had to put in a lot of effort after suffering a serious knee injury that kept her out of action for the entire season. Regain her shape. Even though she's displayed moments of genius this year, Some think she hasn't yet proven that her body is capable of withstanding the rigorous physical demands of playing professional basketball. However, detractors cite instances in games where she has struggled against more aggressive defenders or been outmuscled, implying that the WNBA will only make these difficulties worse.
Comparisons are kind of the bedrock of sports talk, so I'm never going to get mad at them or get tired of talking about them. I mean, I think LeBron James and Michael Jordan will probably be debated for the rest of eternity. In the women's basketball world, it's now everybody who's next with Caitlin Clark. And trust me,
even the renowned UConn coach Geno Auriemma has expressed dissatisfaction, though not necessarily with Bueckers, but with the overall performance of his team. Auriemma wasn't afraid to voice his disappointment following a recent game. The team's lack of physicality and intensity. Although he didn't specifically mention Bueckers, his remarks suggested a more general worry. How will his players perform at the next game if they are unable to meet the physical demands now, especially his star guard level? These uncertainties may seem familiar to Bueckers. She has consistently been the kind of player to give her performance more weight than the criticism. But switching to the WNBA will demand more than just her no-look passes and smooth jump shots. She will need to develop her physical perseverance, adjust to a quicker, more physically demanding game, and demonstrate that she is more than a college standout. Geno Auriemma is upset that UConn's and Paige Bueckers' outstanding performances go unappreciated. The team's games are failing to garner attention despite Bueckers' extraordinary talent and UConn's illustrious past. Is she truly the next Caitlin Clark as everyone claims? And why are fans ignoring this explosive basketball force? Is she? As we already know, Geno Auriemma, the renowned head coach of the women's basketball team at UConn, has consistently led his teams to unmatched success and been at the forefront of the sport. However, even though his current roster, which includes superstar Paige Bueckers, is undeniably talented, just 500 people attended the Huskies' recent game. This harsh reality has spurred a more extensive discussion about Bueckers' impact both on and off the court in comparison to Caitlin Clark of Iowa, who has dominated the women's basketball world by storm.